if you've been listening through this conversation, is that I didn't have the ideal solution until I kept being consistent, because I have this dream, and this has been a journey since 2020. So we're in 2026, so it's 6 years down the line. So the journey has been a step once to the other.
What is the best advice that you have ever received?
Who are you waiting for? No one is coming to save you. So start now. That's the best advice that I ever got.
You've mentioned fine things. You've mentioned now the two components of fine things. We have fine John and fine Jen. Uh, what sets your product apart from in comparison to these other products from the market?
What we are trying to do is we are trying to position our product as natural products, and that's why the name Findings Naturals, and not some aspect of natural medicine, so to say, if I can call it that. It seemed as weak, but if it's biology informed, I can tell you it's stronger, much beyond than the tablets that you can ever find in the market. What I'm trying to say is, what sets us aside is that the person behind it is informed, and the formulas that we are trying to use are informed by what your skin really needs. Because I'm trying to communicate this, that the hair growth doesn't start from the hair; it starts from the skin, and the fatty acids, as I tried to explain, the fatty acids components. This information then guides us with the biology and sets us aside. Why I'm saying so is because many products in the market are selling fast hair growth or fast beard growth, where a customer will buy today and then complain 2 months later, I've used towards depletion, but no results. Same case if you buy Fine John with the same kind of thinking, you will be in a position to complain, and it's acceptable because you bought with a certain goal which the product did not achieve. But what we are trying to sell, and what is setting us aside as Findings Naturals, is that we are trying to back biology with chemistry. Number one, if your genetics do not support you having a bulky beard, of course, there's no single day that you'll wake up bearded. Number two, the hormones, and these hormones we can expound more, is testosterone for men, and the derivative of it, which is even 3 or 5 times um, uh, dependent. Your hair depend on it more than even the testosterone. And this we call it DHT. It's a short form of dihydrotestosterone, which now improves the way your beard will grow. But what you need to understand is that infusing these hormones in your body doesn't necessarily improve your beard growth. And number three, it's the age and time, because as I had mentioned earlier, the beard growth and hair growth have different phases. And if I can just touch them as base, we have the growth stage of any hair, where it's starting from the roots, and then we have the transition stage. It's called the catagen stage. The growth stage is called the anagen stage. Then we have the catagen stage, which is the transition stage. And then we have the final stage, which is the shedding off. You'll find out, even in ladies, there's a time that they have grown their hair, but at a certain point it stops growing and sheds off. This is a natural way of replenishing the hair. But in the point that there's hindrance, maybe your skin is inflamed, that now the growth stage is not initiated, then you tend to lose hair. And this is funny enough because you don't notice in your early 20s. You notice it when you are advanced in age. And this is because there has been a significant hair loss during your many days to the day you are 50. But kipara ya mtu wako 50 akinama unaiona. Ya mtu wako 28 or 27 you might not see it, but it's coming. So what we are trying to say to our clients in simple terms: protect before you seek for.
So before nywele ishe,
yes,
at least you can extend it for a period of maybe 1 year.
And that's the good thing about even this conversation, because we are trying to tell people to be proactive don't wait to be reactive. Don't wait to be sick, or it's just the same. Don't wait to be sick to go
to the hospital
for medicine. So if you can be in a position to halt your hair loss, if you can be in a position to maintain what you already have, you don't lose it, that it means that you won't bald earlier. And that's the information we are trying to say. Protect what you have. And the key aspect is, if your hair growth or beard growth was had been halted because of some aspect that the oil can now come here and give you a solution in, then you'll see better results. Number one, if your skin was inflamed, it means it's not a healthy skin. If the preposition I'm sending to you in Fine John is fine and smooth skin as preposition number one, it means that I want to heal your skin first, because the skin is a key component in the hair growth process. So once your skin is unclogged, it's open, then it means the nutrients are getting deep where they need to be. So what we are trying to say is that we are trying to optimize the environment in which a hair can grow best based on the genetic information. So you can't add a hair follicle to a certain person if the genetics don't allow. And that's simply like saying, if you're trying to water a pot without a seed, then there's no single day that you'd get a plant out of it, because the hair follicle is the main seed, and you're watering the nutrients just to bring it out. Yeah.
That is quite insightful. Now, if we are talking of the fine things now, Fine John, Fine Jane, if we can now translate it into the business side of it. As a customer, I want to get these products from you. How do I access them?
Our first approach was direct to customer, and this is more what many people will do, because you're trying to create a brand awareness, and brand awareness is actually in the lower the pyramid, and I can explain the pyramid, because you create awareness, and then this awareness creates understanding of your products, and people now comprehend what you're trying to say, and they create the desire to buy. And once they get the desire to buy, now they want actually to buy. And so the pyramid, it's just like a pyramid, and the actual buying, it's on the top.
Yes.
Because you have created awareness, your customer has understood it, he has created desire to buy it, and now they want to action. They want to buy it.
Yeah.
So direct to customer was one of our approaches, where we are trying to sell online and trying to put as much skits as we can on a brand ambassador, trying to do a skit on how basically you apply the oil, because it's not cut in stone. You don't just buy and apply. Of course, there's an aspect of the usage direction that we need to talk to our customers, and now this triggers the awareness. So from direct to customer, and this has been a journey since 2020. So we are in 2026, so it's 6 years down the line. So the journey has been a step once to the other. Currently, we are doing our own in our own beard store. I've created Fine John Barbershop and Beard Store, where now the customers are met with their needs at the point of need, where the barbers and the ladies doing now the washing and the massaging can communicate. Oh, Chakaye, I can see that you're losing your hair, and I can see you are not advanced in age. Do you think you can get this product to reverse, not actually to reverse, but to halt the hair loss, and to create more opportunity for the follicles if the genetics allow?
Yes, now the barbershop. You have these products, and you are well versed with making them. You have your lab. I don't know if you have your lab, but I know you have your lab that you do it to prepare those products. You want to sell them to people, and you have this idea of starting a barbershop, because the moment you start the barbershop, you have this direct from manufacturer to consumer direct. How did you come up with this idea of setting up the barbershop?
It's quite funny, because in our earlier conversation, in the starting of our conversation, I had mentioned my dad was so intentional, and I don't know why. And sometimes we are told that parents are your second gods. They direct you to your destiny some way, somehow. In the schools they choose for you, in the environment that they choose that you grow into, and even in the principles that they instill in you. Because basically, me having been in a barber shop at early age, I was pre-exposed. Maybe at that moment I didn't know, but I was pre-exposed to um, many solutions that were not even in the market. In fact, if I can state, when I made the Fine John beard oil, I thought it's the first one in the market, only to go to Instagram and find many more, because I thought it was an invention, only to find out that there are many more beard oils in the market, and now trying to communicate the biology part of it and why it's backed with information and not just any other product, that it's backed with the hype of castor oil is doing good, so apply castor on your hair, or maybe people from coast use olive oil and coconut oil, that's why
The hair is
yeah. So
awesome.
from that information, you get to understand that you're not picking from the hype, but you're doing research and backing your research to creating better products for the community.
Now, the question is, how did you come to form the barbershop? Was it a funding from someone, or how did you come up with now?
And I see where you're driving at. So I think the aspect of the dream itself came a long way for me to even think of barbershop, because once I was starting, my idea was to start with the direct to customer approach. Then I can have my own chain stores, and the chain stores, barbershops happens to be one of the chain stores where I'm selling at the point of need. And of course, there's the aspect of franchise. So Chekai, you need to understand that a journey starts with a step. So an opportunity may arise, and because you have that goal in mind, then you align yourself. Barbershop for me, it's one approach that I'm trying to do right now, because I want many more to come, but I'm trying to flag or see how it can perform before I even approach Chekai with his own barbershop, to request you to maybe set a shelf somehow, selling the products, because it comes with a lot, because I need to engage your barbers, the ladies. It needs education, because we are not trying to make barbers sellers. We are trying to make them as education ambassadors of these the product. It's not like they are just seeing commission out of it. It's trying to give solutions to people who they really see they need that solution at that point.
What I'm trying to ask is, you did not just wake up one day and set up a barbershop. Could you kindly tell us the steps that you took to the point of now opening that barbershop? Were there any things that you had that financed or opened you up to now setting up the barbershop?
I get your question, and it's quite a good one, because as many young men, what we are forgetting to do is to save for ourselves. And I can tell you it comes from my saving. And the way that you save then needs to be intentional, because Chekai, if today you want to save 1 million, that's a long-term goal in our youth. But breaking it down, I want 1 million. Do I want it in 4 years? Do I want it in 2 years? Then you break down. If I want it in 4 years, how much do I need to save in a month? So for my case, I've been saving, not knowing that an opportunity will arise, because I was saving to start 3 barbershop at a go. But at some point, I realized that that's not the way to approach it. I can start with one, with a small thing that I have at hand. So saving is a key component. Let's say you are trying to save 1 million Chekai. For just a case of example, you want to start your own business. You want to save 1 million, maybe to set capital, set the business up. So what's the approach that you need to get? It's the way that many people miss it, because the approach is breaking down the long-term goals into daily or monthly goals. The key fact that I'll give you is if you're trying to save $1 million in 4 years, then basically it means you are saving 20 to 21,000 per month, because 20 times 12 will give you 240, 240 times 4 will give you 960. So if you're saving 21, basically it means you'll have $1 million. So my approach was quite unique. I wanted to start a barber shop, so I started saving early.
You were saving how much? You are saving 20,000 now.
Basically, from the example, it's not like I'm saving 20,000, but the thing is, if you know we are different, Chakai, and I can't push a youngster who is earning 20K to save 20K. Basically, it doesn't make sense. But there is a key proven thing about 10% of your earnings. But if you can save more than the 10% and you're comfortable, then why not save 40% of your saving? But at least don't lack to save something for yourself. People call it pay yourself first, where you say, I've earned 100, 10% of 100 is 10,000. But if your goal to save $1 million, it's for 4 years, then you know that 10,000 is not enough, then you can upscale. That's the approach, the basic approach, just to make it as simple as.
Oh yeah, from this conversation, I'm getting that there is, at least you had to sacrifice something on your end so that you can manage to save. Initially, the goal was to come up with 3 barbershops all at a go. But you have not done 3. At least you got to a point whereby when you looked at your savings, you have this amount, and you said, instead of continuing to save, let me just start. So you sacrificed. I understand that the moment that you start to save, you are denying some part of your life, some short pleasures, short-term pleasure you are saving, so that you achieve a long-term goal. So it is quite an intriguing story that you got to establish the barbershop. And now from this conversation, the barbershop is your primary market for your product.
Basically, that's the fact, yeah.
Now, how do you get to talk to your customers? You are in sales. How do you manage to convince a customer? For example, I have come to your place and maybe I have my girlfriend. How do you manage to get your product maybe for the fine John? Of course, as a man, I'll use the fine John.
Yeah.
And how do you manage to convince these people to do now for the fine John bit of it?
From the sales perspective, when I was beginning, of course, I was running it alone. Of course, I was doing the personal selling. And of course, once you expand, you create avenues even for other people to sell on your behalf. Because I'm entitled to a 9 to 5 job. So I can't be in my barbershop the whole day. And so what I've tried to do is educate, and we have great discussions with my barbers and the ladies at the shop, where I'm trying to educate them just in a layman language, because I don't want to deep so much chemistry into them, but basically trying to educate them and based in biology, because everyone understands biology. And if you talk to them about genetics, you talk to them about hormones, not getting deep into the details and even the age, they can be in a position to explain your products much more better. So the approach to the selling at the barbershop, it's because it's at the point of need, and that's the approach, and that's the way we are doing it. But the goal is not just to stick at barbershops. I said Findings is a brand bigger than myself. We are thinking of going into regions where now we expand from Nairobi. We're in Nairobi and we're in Kabete, but there are so many other regions. Talk of Kisumu, Mombasa, Marsabit, Isli. Actually, it's though Walalo, it's quite a big market for me because they are beard enthusiasts. So you need to get to understand the expansion that you want to make. And of course, as I had laid ground, is that we are trying to pilot for what will come into the regions outside the country and internationally in the future. Yeah.
What are the key lessons that you have learned from this whole journey? From now your parents doing the thing for you, taking you into the service industry, you venturing into making a product that I don't know. I don't know how it came about. Now you forming a business that consumes your products. What are the key lessons that you've drawn from this?
The thing is about, and I can simplify it into three aspects. It's about having a dream, because I think the intention of my parents is that they are taking me to the best schools. That's to their knowledge. If they're taking me to a local school, that's the best they could have done, and I appreciate the same. And then you get to give your efforts in the school so that then you get results to propel you much higher. You now move from the village to a good high school, and from a good high school, you find yourself in a good university. So the journey, and I'm quite grateful today. It has been inspiring, because for me, I look back, and it's funny enough, I want to mention here that I look back even in primary school, the only thing I drew in the lab, because we had a lab in my primary school, was the skin and the hair. Wow. Funny enough, and I can even remember me drawing that hair tissue. And at some point, someone came to me and said, your picture imeinama. So I had to rub it off and now draw it from the mind.
My producer, yesterday we were having a conversation about documentation. So at least you documented that key point that it was a point that was relating to what you are doing now, and you couldn't have told, you could not tell at that time that maybe you'll be dealing with the skin.
Yeah,
that is the power of
funny enough. And in primary school, I think you're 15 years at most, or 13, because this is senior, maybe class 7 or class 8. That's where you're called upon. You know this tissue, so draw it. Many people chose to draw the heart. I don't know what they're venturing in today, but I can connect the dots backwards and see, because once we are talking about the hair tissue, it's in my mind so vivid about the hair root, about the shaft, and the qualities that it needs to grow at its best. So having that in mind, I'm trying to just mimic the natural aspect of the body, and give you the best product that you can ever have in the market.
Nice. So the key lessons you've mentioned, knowing where you're coming from, and could you expound more on maybe let me just phrase it in a manner that will allow you to. Someone wants to start a business. There are so many youths out there that would like to venture into businesses. What advice can you give them?
My advice, it's simple. Dream big, start small, and start now. That's the thing. Yeah. So we are trying to say, dream big, start small, and start now. Because if you've been listening through this conversation, is that I didn't have the ideal solution until I kept being consistent, because I have this dream, and I've started with the small things that I had at hand. And funny enough, the jungle and the nature has all you need. So I didn't have like to ask a plant from India. I got it from the local forest. If I did a seed, I have maybe as availability in our local village. So the aspect of you're not starting, you are limiting yourselves, because if you want to start a business, maybe venture in food industry, you can start as small as a kibanda. Okay, I'm not advocating for you to go to a kibanda, but you can start small.
You can start somewhere.
Yeah, you can start somewhere.
The thing is, you've mentioned that you have a line of in the long term, you have these you are thinking of doing 30 products, and right now you are doing 3. So it's like you'll always figure everything out as time goes by.
And the motivation even comes from your customers. My very own partner asked me for a lip balm, so I'm very much challenged that I'm making a lip balm very soon. So it's motivated from the customer aspect of view, where they tell you maybe you can do for us beard wash. We've seen there's beard wash. Of course, I have them in my portfolio. But the thing is, you have to know your most valuable product that I had mentioned and know how you're coming into the market. Because see it as this, Chakai. I've come with vigor with Fine John, and it has failed terribly because the thing that I'm trying to communicate and the retailers is quite different. Maybe for retailers, they are trying to push sales just like any other common beard oil. But if we are coming from an aspect of information, then we are coming to the market being accepted, and even our range of product will be much pronounced in the market. So that's the approach.
Big up, big up. And it is a story that would encourage someone out there, because I always say this, that even for me starting this the Active Clan podcast, there are so many things that I had, so many doubts I had in my mind. Then I just met one guy and he told me, hey bro, you have so much information that you could share with people out there. Why don't you start a podcast that you can share these things with you? And before I started, I had this doubt in myself whereby I wanted to get those Sony cameras, get this good.
You wanted the perfect setting.
I wanted the perfect setting so that I can start a podcast. But he told me no, start with what you have. And some stories for people, for example, like Mungai Eve. She's one lady whose story tells like it's like rising from ashes to riches.
Yeah, true.
She had a poor quality camera, poor quality videos. As time went by, she got to where she was or she is right now. So the key thing is just start. You never know. You'll figure it out as we continue. Because even for us right now in the Active Clan podcast, where we are shooting this episode right now is not where we started. So it always gets better, I believe. Yeah, that's quite a conversation. And now this is slightly different from your thing.
Okay, and basically maybe before we delve into that, maybe I can try to just mention something that people fear, because you've started a business, you are doing so well. Maybe let's say you are selling cosmetics, you are doing so well, but you fail to register your company or you fail to register your business. This is very key, and I think this is where many people lose it, because it's not much expensive as people may think, because you only need 1,080 shillings to open a business name. That's a registered business name. And you only need 10,000 to start a private limited company. So even as youths, we are thinking of starting our businesses. Let's not be kienyeji, tafadhali. We can try and back our simple knowledge where you say, I'm starting a business, let me register it, so that then you are compliant even with the local authorities. Like Kanjo hakusumbui you in your office sometime. Kanjo amekuja, you have not registered, you don't have business permits. This is quite unique in many businesses where you find that hata watu wanafunga because kuna Kanjo. With the same mentality, we are not moving forward.
I think what you're trying to say is, as you move into the business sector, you have to move with so much intentionality.
Yeah, be informed.
Be intentional, be informed of what you're doing, and having to register yourself as a company, it's like you're separating yourself from the business. Yeah. The business can run on itself without you being
very important.
Nice. Recently you ventured into fitness. Would you kindly tell the audience how the journey has been for you, and how fitness has been for you? Because as Active Clan, we are so much into bringing so much people into working out, keeping fit, staying woke and active. In short, that is the active side of it. And you apparently have started into that journey. How has it been?
I would say it has been quite good for me, and it has been a wake-up call, because I've been lagged in the offices, working from 9 to 5. Many people say they don't have time, and breaking that mentality and telling myself that, of course, I have maybe 6 to 8, where many people are stuck actually on traffic, going back home, I could be working out. The journey has not been easy because it comes with a lot of commitment where you tell yourself, this is about me and I'm not trying to validate. I'm not doing it for validation. I'm just doing it for me. So the aspect of the fitness, it's more on consistency. If I'm doing something, if it's in my business, if it's in my job, can I stay consistent? And gym then creates that discipline, because if I say I'm working Monday through Saturday and then I rest on Sunday, then maybe the next week I'm not willing to go to the gym. It means that I've failed in my discipline. So the consistency part of life, it's more pronounced by the gym enthusiasts, where they say it's consistency and patience. And honestly, even in life, you only need to those aspects. You need to be consistent and patient. Even in the products that we had just said, you need to be consistent in application and you need to be persistent to give it time. So in anything that you need growth, honestly, you need to endure, because gym is not for the
for the week.
It's not for the week. You need to endure and you need to be consistent for you to see results.
What is the best advice that you have ever received?
The best advice that I have ever received is to start now. Simple as that. Like, Cheka, you have a dream. Who are you waiting for? No one is coming to save you. So start now. That's the best advice that I ever got. And it also ranges back to the advices that many people will tell you, that wait until 35 because that's where you have big financial muscles. Honestly, you don't have to wait till late. Start now.
Wow. As we come to the tail end of our conversation, as it is our notion, we always have the previous guest asking a question for the next guest. And your question was, after doing all these things, you've started businesses, you've worked out, you've gone to work, your profession you've developed at the tail end of it. How important is it that you give it your life to God?
That's quite an interesting question, because basically what I would say and how I will answer that question is every scripture is trying, be it Quran, be it the Bible, is trying to tell you to be more like God. And there is characteristics of God that are so unique. The characteristic of God that is so unique is that he creates. And he created everything that we have. So if you have an opportunity to create something, Chekai, create it. The other aspect of God is he gives. He gives. And if you're in a position to give, then give it. So I'm trying to give back to the community out of the chemistry, little chemistry that I know. Of course, I'll advance and of course, bring much more better things. But the key thing is be much as God.
What you're trying to say is you should not wait till you've done all these things so that you get back to God.
No.
As architects, we believe we are co-creators. We are co-creators with God. God is the master designer, and then now we as architects we
execute.
We come now under God.
Yeah.
I think what you are trying to say is you don't have to wait till the tail end of everything so that you get a chance to serve God.
Yeah.
You can serve God through everything that we are doing.
Yeah.
And now it is your chance to ask the next question, to the next guest a question.
I think my question would be, if Chekai, and to you, the listener, and many more audience out there, if you died today, what would you have left the world with? That's
wow.
The question I want to place.
Wow. That is quite a loaded question.
Yeah.
How would you want the world to remember you after you are gone? And I think the next guest will have an awesome time answering that question. So thank you so much, John, and thank you for your time, taking your time to be part of this conversation. I look forward to building more of this as we go on, and I also wish you well in the business that you have. Find things naturals. I wish you well in it. Now, to the audience, you can say something, a parting shot.
My parting shot would be to thank you, Chekai, for this platform, because it's a journey that I know I'll engage in many, because of course, as a founder of a company that you have a big dream, of course you'll be invited to many platforms. So I thank you so much for this opportunity. And I also wish you well. May you grow as many other brands grow, whatever you're trying to drive, as other brands grow, having such a setup, may you also grow. And may Active Clan always be active. Never make it dormant. Rise and shine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chekai.
And now to my audience, we are trying to form a community of which you, as my listener, you are part of this. So you can only support us by listening to our conversations, listening to our episodes, by liking, by subscribing, and by commenting. We would like to have as much input from you as possible. We have posted several episodes back. You can have a look at them and just write any comments on how we can improve and how we can get better as we forge forward. Thank you so much and see you soon.